Did anyone order a pumpkin spice latte? Because I know I did, okay? We are finally getting into my favourite season, and the season where I feel the most invigorated, the most inspired, the most coolest, is in like temperature-wise, and I'm so ready to bring it. Bring on autumn, bring on fall, bring on all of the Halloween goodness. And so today, we will be talking about my fall TBR, as well as telling you the 2026 vlogs of Halloween plans. And I'm very excited. I'm always excited this time of year. Always very excited to tell you all of my ideas and things. And I am just ready to get into it. So please do like this video if you enjoy. Subscribe if you haven't already. Use some channel hype points if you have any left. Also, let me know what you're excited about reading this fall down in the comments below. And yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, so I am currently filming my 6th episode for Snake Across My Bookshelves. So I don't really want to tell you all of the books that I'm going to be reading for in that video. I'm currently 3 books deep in it, and I expect to go a little bit longer. So I can't really exactly say what it is that I'm going to be reading exactly, but I'm hoping to get that video done at least by the end of next week. That'll be great. And we'll see what great books I'm going to have in that video. And they have all been so far very new to me, and in my opinion, like very popular as well. At least 2 of them. 2 out of the 3 so far are quite popular. If you go on my story graph, you'll know exactly what I've been reading, okay? Story graph or page bound, you'll find me on there. You'll get spoilers for what I've been reading. So yeah, have at it. And the first book that I read for Staying Across My Bookshelves as well is a book that I do want to do a spoiler-filled video on. So I will tell you what I actually read first. That is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. I read this one first. I couldn't believe this one came up because it's 850 pages long. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm excited to read it. But seriously, like, this is the first video for Snake. Snake, where I have to read multiple books in my video, you bitch. However, I have now finished it, and I do plan on doing a spoiler-filled discussion video about it. And this one is set in a world, it's historical, it's fantasy, but set in a world where there are magicians, and magic in England hasn't really been a thing for a long time. And we have Mr. Norrell, he is an acclaimed magician, and there are like discussions about magic coming back into England. There's like a prophecy as well about 2 magicians, and the other magician being Jonathan Strange. And it was a really fun time, actually. I actually really enjoyed it. It's very long. It's very, very long. And does it need to be that long? Probably not. I will discuss it in a spoiler-filled video coming your way soon. So yeah, I've done all my notes and everything, so I just need to film the video essentially. And if you want to catch up on this before I post that video, then please do feel free. If you've already read it, great. There will be a spoiler discussion coming ASAP. But yeah, the other 2 books I've been reading for Snake, I'm not going to mention. I'm not going to do a spoiler-filled vlog for the 2nd book because I don't really have that many thoughts on it, to be honest. The 3rd book, the one that I'm currently reading, maybe. There's a good chance that it might be. So yeah, we'll stay tuned for that. It is like actually way too hot to be wearing this jumper, I'm not gonna lie. And also this cap as well, great day to slay, but also my hair is very, very long right now. I am getting a cut next week. Some more housekeeping as well. I'm going to be doing The Pale Horse by Agatha Christie with my channel members at the end of September, start of October. This is the next Christie Crime Solve Along that I do quarterly on my channel membership. And yeah, the next one is The Pale Horse. They all voted for which one we wanted to do next. It was either this one or Towards Zero, I think, which seemed like another kind of creepy, atmospheric Agatha Christie book that we could try and solve together. So I am hoping to do a video on this at the end of September, start of October. It really does depend on how my vlogs of Halloween filming goes, because I also have to be away for quite a lot of October as well, so it's going to be a little bit tricky. So if I do end up doing a solve-along video for this, then great. If not, I do apologize. I am hopeful that I will be able to, though. I am very hopeful. I think it would be great if I did. All I know about this one is that it involves the murder of a priest, and this priest actually has a list of names on his body. And I don't know if the priest wrote the list or if that list was planted or anything like that. Sounds great though. It sounds very atmospheric. There might be another appearance of Sister Gavin. You know, if the church is involved, Sister Gavin is there. So this will be a really fun one as well. So I anticipate doing this, yeah, potentially start of October, and hopefully getting the video out around about then too. So since I mentioned that my Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell is going to be like my next spoiler discussion video, I do have 2 more Stephen King books that I would like to get to ASAP, hopefully in the month of September or like early October, in order to get some of these videos up while I'm away. So yeah, I'm away to South Korea for most of October for my next Trover trip. I just did Peru, which I've posted 4 vlogs for on my Gavin Vlogs It All channel. I will link it down below if you want to follow that. And that's where I'll be posting my South Korea videos. I'll be doing like daily vlogs, I think, or at least like trying to, because now that I've set up a dedicated vlog channel for it, it means I'm not going to try and like think of like, oh, how will I fit this into Gavin reads it all and like try and read a book for it kind of thing. It's going to be, you know, just fun and fancy free. So that's what I'm going to be doing with the South Korea vlogs. But it does mean I'm away for most of October for that, which does put a dent in some plans for vlogs of Halloween. But I'm hopeful, like very, very hopeful that we will be able to persevere and it'll be absolutely fine, you know? We're not panicking over here. But yeah, if I have more like spoiler discussions on books that I've read, then they will be hopefully a little bit easier to film as well and get out while I'm away. So yeah, the next two Stephen King books, I've got Skeleton Crew here, which I've actually been reading for a month. And I am finding it very painful. I am. It's his next short story collection that I had to read. And this has The Mist in it, which I did like. And there have been a couple of more short stories I've liked in this as well. I've given 4 stories a 1 star out of 5. And 2 stories a 1.5 out of 5. There's quite a few 2 stars as well. Like, I'm struggling with this one. And I'm not trying to force myself to finish it. I have a little bit of a ways to go. But, like, I'm not going to force myself to finish it just to get a video out. I'm biding my time. The next time I fancy picking this up, I will. And then I'll make more notes. And then I'll do a spoiler discussion for it. It has been painful. I'm probably going to get some... I was going to say splashback. Probably going to get some... what's the word? Blowback? Splashback? Some criticisms, I guess, for not loving this one, because I've heard this is quite esteemed in Stephen King's bibliography, and I'm just not vibing with it. I'm really not. And then after that, I will be doing The Drawing of the Three, which is the next Dark Tower book. I've started my Dark Tower journey. I liked the first book. It wasn't that bad, and it is like a fantasy epic series that Stephen King wrote, I think like from the 80s to the early 2000s, and we follow Roland. He is a gunslinger, and he is trying to find the man in black. And that's kind of the premise of the first book. Where it's going to go from there, I'm not 100% sure, because some of those storylines wrapped up in the first book. So anything could happen in book number 2. But I've heard it gets better from like the second book onwards. So yeah, I'm excited to dive back into the world and do some spoiler discussions for it. I'm also definitely going to be rereading A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin by the end of the year. I really wanted to do a complete series reading vlog, reading all of the Song of Ice and Fire books. And I want to do like spoiler discussions for it, of course. But 5 books in one video, and especially the size of these books, was very intimidating to me. I used to be able to do them all the time though. Like, you know, all the complete series reading vlogs that I've done in the past, I had so much fun with it. Well, with most of them. And I was easily able to do it. But you know what? I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm not the same kind of reader I was when I could do like 62 books in 1 month. For a video, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not built like that anymore, unfortunately. But you know what? I'm going to do a separate video discussion for each of the Song of Ice and Fire books, and I'm going to start with the Game of Thrones this fall. And I am genuinely so excited to reread this. I haven't read it since 2019, and this might be more of a kind of vlog type format rather than like just a spoiler discussion like I have been doing. So I'll be like tackling it like throughout and just like discussing it throughout and stuff like that. But of course, Game of Thrones is an epic fantasy series. It was the basis of the HBO TV show, and I loved the HBO TV show until the last couple of seasons. And I'm just excited to get back into this world. I know the 6th book may or may not ever appear. I do care, but I don't care as much as other people, you know, like I'm happy with the 5 books that we've got, would love for the story to continue, absolutely, but it doesn't mean that just because the 6th book isn't out yet, it doesn't mean I can't enjoy the first 5 again. This should also be a spoiler discussion. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to get back into it. And then I have a couple of classics that I would like to also do spoiler discussions for. And well, other than like one of the ones that's going to be for vlogs of Halloween, these 2 are not going to be vlogs of Halloween. One of them could potentially, but I don't think so. Although I do have a costume coming for it. So one of them is The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. This one was in my 26 books to read in 2026, so I would love to get to it. And I have a Phantom of the Opera costume coming so that I could like film a fun intro for this video. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure it's going to be in my vlogs of Halloween. It probably won't be, because I already have like my weekly schedule kind of already mapped out. And I just don't think this is really going to fit on, because like I want to try and squeeze this in during some free time in September. And if you don't know what The Phantom of the Opera is about, to be honest, neither do I. I love the musical and I've seen the movie, but I don't know if it's like 100% accurate or not. I just know that we follow Christine, and she is an opera singer, and there is a opera house that she sings at, and there is a phantom who lives, well, he's not really a phantom, he's a man. He's a man, and they call him the Phantom, and he is, you know, watching, and he's waiting in the wings, and all of that good stuff. So yeah, I'll find out properly what this is about, if it's like even accurate, if the musical is accurate to it or not. So yeah, excited. I said that about every book, but I'm genuinely excited for my Fall TBR. And then another classics reading vlog that I want to do, like spoiler filled, is Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. And I haven't yet bought my costume for this either. I want to dress up as Nancy and sing a little bit of As Long As I Needs Me, or maybe a little bit off for Dodger. Dodger, what you think you're doing, mate? You know what I mean? I want to get my cockney out and I just want to have fun. I want to have fun, but it's going to be a spoiler-filled vlog. So if you don't want spoilers for Oliver Twist, then you can't watch the vlog, I'm afraid. Well, I'm very excited because Oliver is one of my favourite musicals. Like the film, I love the film, the one that came out in the 60s. Oh my gosh, my dad used to make me watch it all the bloody time. And you know what? I ended up loving it. So yeah, it's about an orphan boy called Oliver. And he ends up going to London. He meets the Awful Dodger, he meets Fagin, and a colourful cast of characters. And it's Victorian London. It talks about poverty and orphan boys. And lastly, before I talk about vlogs of Halloween in the lineup this year, I mentioned this in last year's Fall TBR video, I think, because I thought it was the 25th anniversary that year. Or maybe I realised too late. I was like, okay, I can do the 24th anniversary. But I realised that's a little bit dumb. So I'm saving it for this year. And that is Smallville. Apparently Smallville is celebrating its 25th anniversary this October. So I've been wanting to do this for a couple of years. And now is finally the time. Mainly as well because I can license the theme song. And I really want to do a vlog with the theme song, so I want to do that. And I love Smallville back in the day as well. It follows Superman before he becomes Superman. And I loved Tom Welling. Oh my god, Tom Welling was like such a gay awakening for me. Actually, I've had a few gay awakenings, but Tom Welling was a massive gay awakening for me in the early 2000s, let me tell you. In fact, actually, I don't even think I watched Smallville in the early 2000s. I saw him in Cheaper by the Dozen. I think that's where I saw him. And then I ended up watching Smallville and fell in love all over again. But yeah, I have 3 books that I thrifted from eBay years ago and I would love to get through them and talk all things Smallville in a 25th anniversary vlog, which I know I have mentioned before, but I'm serious this time, okay? I'm serious. Okay, those are like some very loose plans for September and October. And I know fall can also include November as well. But to be honest, I do have some plans, but they're also a little bit up in the air. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to do the set plans that I have. But ever since, you know, my video that I did recently about like things are changing on my channel a little bit, I'm taking things with a little bit more of a grain of salt. I'm taking a bit more of a laid back approach. A little bit. I mean, I still have to rely on this as my job. This is still my job. So I still need to do my job. But I'm not going to be anal like I usually am with my schedule and stuff like that. So things are going to be a little bit flexible in November and December, I think. I have ideas, but I don't want to vocalize them just yet. So anyway, vlogs of Halloween. Vlogs of Halloween 2026. This is the moment that I've been waiting for my entire life. My entire life. When I tell you, I've been planning vlogs of Halloween 2026 since last August. I literally booked my very first place last August. I was on my way to Norway when I booked it. Or at least like I was inquiring about it. It took a little while because there was a lot of back and forth, but I had to, yeah, start booking it then. Some caveats with vlogs of Halloween this year as well. So I was originally intending to do 9 vlogs. However, so many plans fell through this year and I'm only going to be able to do 8 vlogs this year. So vlogs of Halloween was supposed to start on September 4th. However, I'm going to start it on Friday, September 11th instead. So that way I can still do like the 8 vlogs like weekly every Friday up until the Friday before Halloween, which I believe is October 30th. So 8 vlogs it is, and we are starting on September 11th. And I really did have way more plans. And I even mentioned this in my Snake Across My Bookshelves video from March, which I started filming in February. I was trying to book somewhere else in February, and I mentioned in that snake vlog, like I'd been ghosted, which is ironic, but like I was seriously talking with, you know, a place for me to film at, and they just ended up like ghosting me essentially. And then they sent me an email while I was away filming my premiere of Vlogs of Halloween for this year. And by then it was like too late. It was like, well, I can't really talk to you about this now and I can't really like plan this now. I'm gonna have to like do something else. So it's been a little bit of a nightmare, I'm not gonna lie. Things have fell through, plans have just not really been ideal. However, we have persevered and I do hope that we have a good lineup for you. And also some of this is not going to be a surprise, especially the ones I've already filmed. So I've already filmed 3 out of 8 of these videos and I started filming back in March. And none of these are going to be a surprise because I had to announce the 3 that I've done because I put these videos up for members first so that they can get early access to it. So with my channel membership, you can get early access to videos once I've finished editing them and I get them scheduled, ready to go. Well, my premiere video I had finished in March. So my members had 6 months early access to that video and it was just sitting there. So like obviously I was going to post it as, you know, early access, but it does mean that people get to see that, you know, like people who aren't members get to see that. They see it pop up. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have to share these pictures on Instagram and stuff like that. So I'm sorry if none of this is really a surprise. I think there's still like a couple that should still be a surprise, hopefully. But anyway, yeah, sorry. So the very first Vlogs of Halloween of 2026 is going to be my Scream vlog. So back in March, I did film my High School Musical Tour Resort vlog, which you'll have already seen. Imagine if I kept that for Vlogs of Halloween. But I went to the High School Musical Tour Resort, and then I flew to California so that I could film at the actual Scream house where they filmed the first Scream film. And it was, oh my God, like the house itself is incredible. It's so good. And the very first like Vlogs of Halloween video is going to be me reading horror at the Scream house. And I think it turned out well. I do. But I will say, so I also have behind the scenes members exclusive videos, because if I try and post behind the scenes videos that have nothing to do with books and it's just like the behind the scenes, they're going to flop. So like I love having like a kind of behind the scenes exclusive look into things and like how I book things. And I do like clips while I'm there as well, you know, like little behind the scenes stuff. And it's great. But like, there was some problems. There was some problems with the Scream house, I'm not gonna lie. One of the main ones was that I went there expecting to have the place booked to myself, and then about a week before I went, I found out that the owners decided to stay. So usually they only ever do group bookings at the Scream house, and they don't ever get just one person. And I had to literally, this is why I've, you know, planned it back in August, and it took about a month to get the contract and stuff like that, because they don't just allow one person to just like film a video there. It's like, it's a group thing, and it's for a fan experience. You get to experience the Scream house, and you know, one person filming a vlog is not something that they do. They're not an Airbnb, and it's actually owned by owners who live there, like they actually live there. And so when there's group bookings, the owners leave. However, because it was just me, the owners decided to stay. And I only found out a week before I went, or somewhere around about then. And I also found out that they were going to be doing tours for the Scream house while I'd booked it for 48 hours. And so that really cut into my time actually filming there. And so it turned out to not exactly be the vlog that I wanted. However, I will still say that I'm still very happy with how it turned out. And I will also say as well, there is an annoying thing where I have a necklace on during the video, and sometimes it does bash into my microphone, and there is an annoying sound when that happens. And so I apologize for that too. So we're off to a great start. No, I do think it's a good video, and I do hope you end up enjoying it. The two books I read while I was there as well, so like, this is a TBR video, so you'll want to know what I've been reading. The first one was Strange Houses by Yaketsu. This one is part of that whole Strange Pictures, Strange Map. Is it Strange Maps? Is that the one that's come out, or is that coming out? No, it hasn't come out yet. Strange Buildings, Strange Pictures. Wait, hang on. This is the one that I read, isn't it? Oh, wait, no, it's Strange Buildings. Oh my God. It was Strange Buildings I read at the Scream House. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. But yeah, these are just essentially, you get, you know, floor plans and things, and these floor plans are a little bit creepy. There's something sinister that ends up getting revealed about them, and you know, there's a full-on discussion about them, and sometimes they connect a little bit as well. And it was a good time, so I read that in that video. I also read Breathe In Bleed Out by Brian Macaulay. This one is very Scream coded, and it's about a group of people who end up going to this kind of spa retreat that's in the middle of nowhere, and they take your phone off you and everything. It's very secluded, and then it becomes a slasher. You know, they die one by one. And it's a time. I'm not going to exactly say what I thought of this, but I didn't love it. I didn't love it, unfortunately, but you know, it was very apt. It was apt for where I was. And I will say again, like, I had an amazing experience at the Scream house. I freaking loved seeing it. Scream is one of my favorite horror films of all time, if not my favorite horror film of all time. And it was just so surreal seeing it. So yeah, hopefully you still enjoy the vlog. And then on September 18th, the second vlog of Halloween is going to be another 24-hour readathon from midnight to midnight. But this time I'm going to be decorating for Halloween as well. I'm going to be shopping for Halloween decorations too. It's going to be very like fall coded, hopefully a little bit cozy as well. Like, I do like doing the scarier kind of vlogs, but hopefully this one's a bit more of a cozy fall autumnal vlog. And I do love me a good 24-hour readathon, as you know. And yeah, I plan on tackling my digital TBR for that one. So I do have a lot of credits on Everend. I've got 7 credits. And I also have All of Us Murderers by KJ Charles. And I have been told to read that, so I do plan on reading that in that video. It's very Crimson Peak and Knives Out coded with LGBTQ plus characters in it. And we follow Zeb, who gets summoned to his relative's gothic mansion. And I think that's all I pretty much know about it. But I'm very excited to get to, you know, some good horror audiobooks. I'm really looking for like a lot of new horror audiobooks, because I do have a couple of videos coming up later on for Vlogs of Halloween where I will be reading the horror books that I own physically. But some of them are a little bit backlist and stuff. So I would like to use some Everend credits on some brand new horror books and be like, you know, like, this is a 24-hour reading vlog where I read like brand new horror. I guess All of Us Murderers is not a brand new horror, but still, it'll be really good to do that because I already have the audiobook for it. So yeah, if you have any recommendations for some brand new, really good horror audiobooks, then please let me know down below. I already have some on Libro, I believe, as well. So it'll just be nice to just clear my digital shelf. And I think I've done a 24-hour readathon for the last like 2 vlogs of Halloween as well. So that's probably not as exciting, but I do need to decorate for Halloween as well. I put these up. I've got those 2 ghosties and I have this as well. And I've got so much more other Halloween decorations that has been delivered. But I just put these up for this video. I'm going to take them back down so that I can actually like start from scratch when I do the 24-hour reading vlog. And yeah, I would love to go shopping for some more Halloween decorations, like really decorate the place and talk all things new horror and just have a really cozy, spooky time. Hopefully you like the idea of that one. And then September 25th will be the Halloween special of TBR Traitors. Yes, we are finally coming back with another TBR Traders, and I'm so sorry that the 3rd episode has taken so long to come out, but I have exciting plans for it. I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be the best episode yet. I will be picking 10 books from my TBR to hopefully read in that video. Whether or not I read all 10 books is another question. Maybe that happened in episode 2. Maybe it didn't happen in episode 2. But I haven't really picked out a TBR for that just yet, and I will be asking my special guest to pick the traders from that TBR, but I will be picking again like some of the horrors from my room and maybe some horror manga as well. It would be nice to have a little bit of a mix to hopefully help out with my reading, and it's just going to be so much fun. I can't wait. I can't wait to get back into that Claudia Winkleman, you know, attire, the wig, the eyeliner, all of it. Oh, it's going to be great. And then on October 2nd, I will be premiering my I Went 1,375 Feet Below Ground to read horror overnight. So back in June, I went all the way to Wales to do this go below experience on my own. Well, I did have a guide, I did, because obviously you had to be safe, because I was actually caving, I was ziplining, I was free falling, I was doing all these kinds of crazy things I've never done before in the dark, and it was so good. I will tell you, it was an amazing experience, and I filmed that back in June, and I've done the video and everything. It's been up for early access ever since, and you know what, I'm really happy with how it turned out. In that video, I did read The Descent by Jeff Long, and this did not inspire the horror movie, which I love. I love the horror movie The Descent. This did not inspire it. However, there's a lot of similarities because this is about cave monsters, and there's a whole network of caves around the world, and some of them connect in things, and it can be very gruesome and bloody. I think the first chapter of this is very like The Descent in a way, but again, like totally different. It goes into like some military stuff, and I don't again want to say too much of my thoughts, and I did enjoy like big parts of this. I did, but whether or not I enjoyed the rest of it is, you know, you'll find out soon. But I do think the caving video that I did, you know, I think it was fun. I think it was fun, and I think it turned out well. I'm very excited for you to see it. Definitely the craziest and scariest thing I've ever done, but also like one of the most rewarding too. I would totally do it again. So that will be coming to you October 2nd. I'm not joking when I say that was probably the scariest thing I've done so far. And then October 9th will be the Halloween special of Imbosso Toss. Of course, I need to do more Halloween specials of my main series on my channel. And Imbosso Toss Halloween special last year did really well. I think it was my 2nd most viewed video last year of the Vlogs of Halloween videos. And Staying Across My Bookshelves Halloween special was the #1 video from Vlogs of Halloween last year. So of course I gotta do Imbosso Toss Halloween special again this year. And again, I will be doing the horrors that are in my room and any more that I might buy from now until I start filming Imbosso Toss. However, I will say that I feel like I've got plenty of ones to get through here, so it would be nice to like pick a few, like pick a handful and start reading them for that video. So again, any suggestions I will happily welcome down in the comments. If you know of any that I already own that are on my shelves and you think that I will emboss them, I would love to hear your suggestions. But yeah, just another Imbosso Toss Halloween special. Hopefully that's good. I mean, I might not do the Halloween specials of my series next year for Vlogs of Halloween because I really do want to have like more creative and adventurous stuff. But I will say there was supposed to be another visit that I was supposed to do this year, but that only recently fell through as well. So I couldn't do that, unfortunately, but I do plan on doing that next year as well. So hopefully next year will be filled with a little bit more adventure. And then this year does have just like some of those series Halloween specials, you know. But speaking of adventures, I do have another one coming up. And I haven't filmed it yet, so nobody really knows about this one yet. Hopefully you still find this very exciting. I don't know if you will. This could be another one where it's like very atmospheric and maybe a little bit cozy too. But I will be filming, and this will be coming out on October 16th. I will be going to Yorkshire so that I can read Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte for the very first time. So Emily Bronte, I think the Brontes, all of them, lived in West Yorkshire, and there is a Bronte parsonage museum thing, I think, where they wrote some of their books. I do think Emily Bronte wrote Wuthering Heights there, and I will be staying in this really cute, lovely village in order to read this, and I'll be there for a few days. I've already booked the cottage, and it should be really nice and fun, but it will be filled with spoilers because I will be talking about Wuthering Heights, and I will be reading it for the very first time. And I've heard mixed things. I've heard very mixed things about this. Some people love it, some people genuinely despise it, and I'm very excited to see what I end up thinking of it. I've never seen a film adaptation. I know there is a newer one with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. I would like to watch that as well, maybe in the video, maybe give you some of my thoughts on that. But you know how I went to Jamaica Inn to read Jamaica Inn last year? This is going to be like kind of the equivalent of that as well, where I kind of surround myself with the inspirations of the book and read through it. And hopefully that will be a good little, kind of more of I guess a more atmospheric, a more cozy reading vlog as well. So I do plan on having the 24-hour reading vlog be a little bit more cozier as well in this one too. Whereas like things like caving, going underground to read horror, that's going to be more like, I don't know, I don't even know if people are going to like that one because it might be a little bit claustrophobic. I'm not gonna lie, it might be claustrophobic, but this should be nice. You know, this should be nice to follow that one up with. So yeah, October 16th, Wuthering Heights. So if you want to read it as well, you do that. October 23rd, I do plan on getting my Halloween special of Snake Across My Bookshelves out. We'll see about that because again, I am away for most of October and I'm a little bit concerned and worried that I might not get Snake Across My Bookshelves filmed in time for me going to South Korea. So I might have to film some more of it when I come back from South Korea. If I have to push Snake back a few days, then I will. But fingers crossed I don't have to. And also with Snake Across My Bookshelves, I will be bringing the power-ups back for the Halloween special. And that should hopefully make it last a bit longer as well and be a lot more fun too. I haven't been doing the power-ups with the regular episodes, but I think for the seasonal episodes, like the Christmas one, the Halloween one, I will have the power-ups back. And that usually brings a little bit more chaos and a little bit more fun. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, if I do end up having to film more of that when I come back from South Korea, then it might, you know, it might be a few days late. But, you know, I know you guys don't mind that. I know you guys are awesome and you don't mind if things are a little bit late. Hopefully everything else will keep you happy and satisfied until that one comes out. But it definitely needs to be the one before the finale because I've already filmed the finale. So on October 30th, I do have my 48 hours in Terror Tower video already filmed. I went to Needpath Castle and I stayed there for a couple of nights and I read 2 horror books and I had a great time there. I did. I thought it was good. And I will put the trailer in here as well so you can see what that's like. So I do hope you enjoy the trailer. I hope you enjoy the finale of Vlogs Halloween this year. I have taken you to a haunted tower. We are actually going to read some scary stories while staying in a scary ass building. That doesn't look very safe. Oh god, are the bats up here? Oh god, I don't know if I hear bat screeches. I don't know if I hear bat screeches. This is already like freaking me the fuck out. Was that the lights flickering? Shit. I am so scared now of a random woman walking through the corridors at night as I am here all alone. Why does it sound like there's someone outside? No.
Listen to us.
Is there someone in the window? Oh, oh, Jesus. Now, I was going to split it into two videos, but I think after last year I did that with the Haunted School video, and I did that with the Chillingham Castle video as well, Escape from the Haunted Castle. And you know what, I think I prefer it myself when I just put everything in just one video. So it's going to be one long video, it is a long one, and it will be the Halloween finale, the vlog's Halloween finale for 2026. In that video, I read Bone of My Bone by Joanna Van Veen. This one follows a nun and a young woman who are running away from soldiers, and they come across a body that has this skull. And it turns out, I think it's been a month now, and I think it was like a skull of the saint. Skull of the saint, and if they take that skull back to its rightful body, then they will get a wish. A wish will come true, kind of thing. And so they go on this adventure. This is very sapphic as well, so you know I love me some sapphicness. But yeah, I ended up reading this one because last year I read Blood on Her Tongue for my Vlogs of Halloween finale, and I thought, hey, same author, loved Blood on Her Tongue, hopefully I love this one too. I will not tell you if I love this or not, but it's there, and I do have my thoughts in that video, so I hope you have read that as well and you have some thoughts about it too. And then I read Einhallow as well by Tim McGregor in that video, and this is a shorty patooty. This one is set on like this little island, and we follow Agnes, and a stranger comes to the island, and Agnes ends up getting embroiled with this stranger. Now, it doesn't say on the back of this who the stranger is. However, I do mention it in the vlog. I think it's very hard to avoid when talking about this book, exactly like where this book is situated and the connections it has to another massive classic literary work. So I'll not say in this TBR video, but in my vlog, I do mention the classic that it may or may not be connected to. Let's just put it that way. But these are the two books I read for the Vlogs Halloween finale, and hopefully, again, like you have read these, or maybe you haven't. Hopefully I can entice you to read them, potentially, with my thoughts and reviews on them. But yeah, I had a lot of fun at the Haunted Tower. Maybe a little bit too much fun. And I hope you have a lot of fun watching that as well. So yeah, that'll be October 30th. So the entire Vlogs of Halloween lineup, I hope sounds good to you. We will be starting on Friday, September 11th, and you will have hopefully a new vlog, a new video every Friday up until October 30th. And as I mentioned, there should be a little bit flexibility. I haven't really set a lot of things in stone. Fingers crossed I get to read a little bit more. Fingers crossed I get to make a few more videos as well on the side. That would be amazing. I would love to do that because, you know, as soon as fall hits, I feel more inspired to film, I feel more inspired to read. So hopefully I do feel that this year and I end up making more videos and read more books that I haven't mentioned in this video. But for now, this is the end of my Fall TBR and my Vlogs of Halloween 2026 announcement. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do give it a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and use your channel high points as well if you have any left. Leave all the comments down below as well. Let me know what you're reading this fall. Let me know if there are any Vlogs of Halloween videos you're excited about or anything like that. I would love to hear from you. So please do chat down below. I want to give a huge thank you to my channel members for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join my channel membership, then the link is in the description box. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.